Hey everybody, welcome. Today we are in Ratatouille's kitchen. I was trying to find a really cute kitchen, like an animated kitchen or something like that, because we're going to be doing at least I'm going to be doing a country kitchen kind of scene card today. And so I thought that I would find a really cute kitchen. I was actually trying to find like Piglet's kitchen or like Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh. And everything I found had like Winnie the Pooh really big or Rabbit really big or something, and I couldn't really see the kitchen because I'm in the center. So anyway, I found Ratatouille and I thought, now this is a kitchen. This is a kitchen I could do some damage in. I think this is a really gorgeous kitchen. So I thought that's where we would be today. So sorry, Stephanie, not the Bahamas. Maybe you and I could go there someday. Anyway, welcome. It is Thursday night, and I was just using, I got to show you, I was just using my new lip balm. This is our new lip balm. This is a peppermint lip balm. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Can you see the, might be too bright in here. It has a little scene on here. That's a little sneak peek of some of our Christmas stuff. But these just arrived. It's peppermint. So like when you put it on, your lips are like really cool. It feels really great. Tastes fantastic. Smells phenomenal. And this is a little freebie that's going to go in everybody's package until they're gone. So I thought that would be fun. So yay. Anyway, let's see who's here today. I saw so many familiar names. Gosh, you guys, I swear it's so awesome. Ooh, yes, peppermint. Beth Ballone is here, and Sue, and Andre, and Jen Ray, who just got her stuff from HSN. That's pretty cool. You're going to have a blast with those stencils and dies. Who is here? Shelly, and let's see, who else is here? I don't know who, Face0923. Not sure who that is, but welcome. And Sandy is here. That's over on YouTube. Who else is here? I know I saw Cindy Patty. So we have Ray Thompson, Barbara Woodward, I'm sorry. Patricia Rand, so many people, you guys. Sandra, Linnea, hey girl. Cindy Harris, who else is there? I know Stephanie's here. Sheila Fisher, Beverly Gleason. You guys, honestly, I really appreciate it. So today's gonna be some fun. Oh, and we got a nice little surprise. I haven't seen her out here, but Sandra Yee. Sandra is she's actually from here, from Michigan, from Macomb Township. And she sent this beautiful card to us, and she used this is one of our slimline dies, and our Sharing is Caring stamp set. So she made this, and she actually used our free template that we have, and she made a really, really cool and cute envelope. And I won't turn it over. I don't want everybody to see her address and stuff, but Sandy, thank you so much. This is so sweet. It's so sweet. Sandy, actually, I mean, years ago when we were just getting started, back when we were still, we still had rubber stamps and we were still packing our own stamps and stuff. Sandy, and cutting them. I mean, this was quite a while ago, but Sandy used to come over and pack stamps, and I haven't seen you in so long. So this was, gosh, what a treat. This was so nice. I wish I could see you guys. It was so cool. So that was really, really sweet. Absolutely, what a gift. Very nice. So thank you. All right, we're going to get started. So today, got a lot going on. I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera, and we'll get started. Let's see. Today, got a whole bunch of things I'm going to be working with. Let me get my glasses on so I can see. Oh, and this brightness, goodness gracious, got to turn that down a little bit so you guys can see. Here we go. So I'm going to be working with the Barnyard Bunnies. Now, I worked with these once before already and made a slimline card, so we're going to do something a little bit different today. So we have the Barnyard Bunnies 4x6 stamp set, and look at these adorable little critters on the back. In the back of our stamps, we always give you a suggestion for how you can color them. And of course, we have the coordinating dies, and Alan's going to do some die cutting for me today. Woohoo! Woohoo! I've also got the Country Kitchen. This is this is one of our pocket pails. These are pocket pails, and then these are pocket pushers. So this is it is coordinating in the sense that you can use these together. The pocket pails are little characters, little images, and they're designed to go with our pocket pusher stamps. So this kitchen set, here you go on the back, has this adorable little country kitchen and a whole bunch of little accessories here. And then the coordinating dies, I'm going to show you how these work, because these dies are going to allow these doors to open. So it's going to instantly make that interactive. Alan's going to do some of that cutting for us. And then I also grabbed my handy dandy scallop rectangle, because there's one die in here that I wanted to use for the sentiment, which I've already stamped and cut, so I'm not going to miss it. That's kind of foolproof, isn't it? What else do we have? Oh, I also grabbed some paper. So I have the sweater weather paper pack, which is actually in one of our bundles right now. This is a fantastic paper pack for fall. This, I think, was one of our giveaways on Tuesday. I love this paper pack, and I used the wood grain pattern out of that. And then I grabbed Sweet Sensations, which is one of our double-sideds, and I have these all mixed together because all the colors coordinate. And this is actually my candy counter and my Sweet Sensations together. So I just keep it all stacked together, and I search through and find what I want. And in here I chose this really pretty little red and white gingham check. So that's those. And let me show you what I've got started here. So I always start things. And today I thought I'm just going to color up some images today and show you guys how I do that. I don't think I've done that in a while. But let me see. Let me show you everything I have here so far. So this is going to be an A2 card, which means, let me get that, it's still too bright. There we go. Which means that it is 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 inches tall. It's technically a half sheet of letter size paper, so 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4 and folded, and I'm going to use that portrait. And from the sweater weather, I have some little pieces of that wood grain here that I've already trimmed. And then here's that little red and white gingham check that I mentioned. And then here's my sentiment that I mentioned to you. I already stamped and I cut it with the die. And I think I got some stuff on it, but it'll be all right. And then I have already, here's the kitchen. I stamped it in brown first because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I stamped it in brown, and then I stamped it in, what did I do? Here it is. This is what I did. I stamped it first in iced tea, and that's what this is. Now, if I were going to create something that I wanted to look really, really rustic and antique, I think this is the way to go. Something that I really wanted to give a lot of age to, I think this would be the way to go. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, so I also stamped it in alloy, which is a beautiful gray. And this is what I ended up with. So I stamped it in the alloy, and because I decided to color these cabinets in blue, I thought that the lines would fade into the background better if I colored up the one that I did with the alloy. So that's what I ended up using. So this is how it stamps. It's that one stamp. It's this big stamp right here, and it's a pretty big stamp, and it stamps that whole kitchen all in one. And I went ahead and colored this one up just because the coloring is a little more. There's just more to it, a little more involved. So let me show you what it looks like close up here so you can see how it ended up looking. And I did kind of a two-tone on it, and it automatically has, you know, the little plates up in here in that picture. That's so cute. And we have little doors up in here and so on and so forth. And I've already cut this one with the die, but I didn't move anything yet because I wanted to show you how it ends up looking, what you can end up doing with it. So I want to show you the dies that go with this because I want to show you how they work and how this is designed. And then I'm going to pop that out and I'm going to show you what you end up with, because these are really, really fun. If you haven't seen our pocket pails yet, this is a really fantastic introduction to what they do. So this is the die set here, and we have 2 dies here. Sometimes on some of the sets, these dies are not split into 2. On some of the sets, this is all connected. This would be 1 die, like this would be 1 die right here. On some of them, they're separated. It depends on what the intention was and how we intended it to be used. So on this one, we did separate it, and I like it separated because it allows us to cut this other piece here, which I'll explain to you in a moment. So here's what I did. Whoops. I've somehow looped these together. And please feel free to ask questions. Alan is standing by, ready to put the questions up on the screen for me so I can answer your questions. And I always say, feel free to ask me just about anything. We try and keep politics and religion out of what we're doing. We're here for a craft along, which, by the way, sidebar here. If you have something to craft with while we're doing this, please join in. Feel free. You don't have to be crafting what I'm crafting. You don't even have to be card making. You could be knitting or sewing or whatever you want to do. But I'd love for you to craft at the same time that I am, because it's just fun and relaxing. So anyway, I've gone ahead. Oh, and what I was going to say is put your questions up there. Alan is going to put those up in front of me, and I'm happy to answer just about anything. Like I said, no politics, no religion. Keep it fun, keep it light. You can even ask me questions about me or even about Alan, and if we can answer them, we will. So, all right, if you look at this die, you can see in here, let me lift this up. There we go. You can see in here, there's a blade on 3 sides of each of these doors. So each of these doors, it corresponds to the doors that you're going to see here in the cabinets, okay? And that's because we want to be able to open and close the doors. But they're only going to cut on 3 sides, and then it's going to score on the 4th side. And up here, where we have these little glass windows in those doors, we're actually going to cut those little windows out, all right? And so here's the way this works. I like to go like this, and I like to kind of it goes like this, right? Because the cut side or blade side goes down. But if you lift this up, you can see that these doors here go with these doors here. And if you lay this right next to it, you can see where that cut line is going to line up with this one, all right? So you can see it's just slightly on the outside of that line. And if I go along this side as well, I can see that my cut line here and that blade right there is just above or on the outside of those doors as well. And I can also see that we have placed that cutting blade really, really close to the edge, or the outer edge of the die. So that means that it's going to be really easy to line up, because you know that it's almost right on the edge. Okay? So I would flip this over just like this, and I'm going to pay attention to where my doors are. And this is the piece right here. I'm going to lay that right over the top. I know that my cutting blades are right on the inside. So I know that if I center this between the top and the bottom lines here, and the left and the right line, and I tape this down, I'm going to get a really good cut, because we've put those blades really close to the edge. And I'm going through this because I've had a lot of questions where people have said, how do I line that up? How do I know how to line it up? So this is how we do it. Okay? You're going to pay attention to your outer lines, and you're going to make sure that you're centering with the lines around it. And I would tape this down just like this. All right? Notice this is pretty centered up here. And we've got this here. Now you don't necessarily need to worry that that's coming over the edge, the over into that, that curtain a little bit, because of where the blade is going to land. But this would go just like this, blade side down. And let me give you my little tip here. When I'm here in my home studio, I always use my Sizzix, my Big Shot. I like the magnetic plate. And you put your plastic plate down. I always go blade side down. When I go blade side down, I don't warp this. And yes, this is kind of messed up because I swap the blades, or I'd swap the plates, just so I don't get so much, you know, cutting just into one. I like to even that out. But mine doesn't get really warped because I have my blades down. So I would run that through just like that, all right? And then when I take that out and I take this off, I'm not going to run this through right now because I already have one cut, and it's the one that has all the color on it. This is what you get. Actually, it's not what you get. Actually, you know what, Anlin? Maybe we should run this through. Run this through real quick. All right. Because then I want to show you the next step, which would be this one. And I know this part's not very fun, but I want to make sure you guys understand and know how to use these dies. I think this is important. So when I take this off of here, you're going to see, you know, and make sure you're using a tape that is not very, you know, it's not too tacky. This is purple tape, which is a repositionable tape. It's not going to be peeling up my paper and tearing my paper. So this is what you're going to get. And as you can see, these pop open. All right. See how they open up? This one opens, and this one over here and over here. And see how perfectly placed they are? They're just beautiful. These little window panes are going to pop out as well. I've got kind of a thick, heavy paper here because I used my Nina, which is a heavier paper, but you can see how those pop out of there and open up. So the next step then is to take, now you can leave it just like this, all right? You do not have to cut the exterior out. So if I had this on a card, I could just color in my background and I could color everything in here and I could be done with that. But if I wanted to pop it up, I wanted to pop it up on foam, if I wanted to cut out that shape, then that's when I would grab the outline die, and you can see right through this one. So I would lay that right around the outer edge there, tape that down, run that through my die cutting machine, and then, what did I do with my colored one? Oh, it's right here. And then I would get this, all right? So this one, I've already done this, I've already put this through so that my, my doors open up. And on that, so it cuts around the 3 sides, it leaves the 4th one intact, and it gives it a score line. I just put my nail down in place just to kind of aid that and open that up. This one opens here as well. I've got a score line. All right, so that's going to open easily. This one as well here. And then I've got where the little window panes pop out here. Give those a little push. There we go. All of these are going to open up. There we go. And I love these because I can put little characters inside here if I want. Let me lay this one down. Give that a push. There we go. Lay this one down. Put my fingers like right on that score line and lift that up. And so now all these doors will open and close. And then the other fun thing is, you know, like if I put this down on, let's say, this paper here. Okay, if I put a pattern paper behind it. When these doors open up, I'm going to see that pattern paper, which I don't necessarily want to see, at least not on my card, not on this one. So what I then do is I use this same outer die here, and I just cut out either white or black or whatever you want to put in the background. It's going to fit perfectly over it, just or behind it, just like that. I'm going to adhere that down, and then I have a nice background that I can see back there that isn't going to be my pattern paper, because I don't want to see my pattern paper. And if you want to use a black or a gray or something so it looks like it's maybe the inside of the cupboard, then do that. But that is how you're going to use those pedal pusher or pocket pusher, I'm sorry, dies and stamps. So now you can see what I've done already. Had a lot of fun coloring this. I think it turned out really cute. And I'm going to set that aside. So we do have some questions. Judy is saying, inquiring minds would like to know, is there a new card kit coming soon? Ha 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 ha. I'm going to go with yes. Stay tuned for HSN in October. Jen Ray, did the purple tape come yet? We actually just got our shipment in yesterday, I think it was. Was it yesterday?
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday. And we've got to inventory it and get everything into the store, and that takes a little bit of work. So we should have everything in the store next week. So what I want to do for you guys now, though, is show you how I would really quickly color up these images. I started coloring one, and I thought, I'm going to do this for you guys. So I stamped a whole bunch of my little barnyard bunnies and their little friends, and grabbed a whole bunch of Copics. Now I got a ton of Copics here. These are, believe it or not, let me show you this. This is what happens when I color, because I grab a lot of colors. For this kitchen, I used all of these colors. I don't know if you guys want to get a screenshot of that, but these are all the colors that I used to color that kitchen. So I'm going to color up my characters with the same colors, and I just want to show you how simple it is to color these guys. I'm just going to lay a whole bunch of these over here. I color with Copics. You know, you could do this with watercolors. You could do these little characters with any other alcohol markers you want. So I've already got my little piggy colored here. And let me see. I'm going to start with this one. I just thought it would be fun if we colored up. Now this is stamped on my, people always ask, this is stamped on my Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. Whenever I'm going to be coloring with alcohol markers, this is what I use. And I'm just going to dot this in here a little bit. I don't know if I like that color. That's a very, very light yellow. I think I'm going to darken that up again, or darken that up a bit, but I'm going to leave, so I go really, really light so I can leave like some little highlights like up on the back there maybe. And then I have one that's kind of orangey. This is a Y38. I'm just going to get those little feet. And here's a 35 just to richen up that color underneath. There we go. That's how simple. This is how I do it. It's just really, really easy. Actually, I'm going to do a different color on that bird. Let's see. What are we going to do? Because that one's not a that's not a little duck. So I'm going to do this one in a blue. Now I'm starting really, really light. Just putting my color in here. And grab some of the same blues that I did my my kitchen with. Let's see, let's get the really dark one here and go underneath a bit. Down here at the bottom, a little bit darker. I just like to make it look interesting and have some texture in there, and that's kind of why I dot it, so that I get a little bit of texture. I'm going to blend that in by going in some little circles. There we go. That's a pretty little bird. And then, let's see. Let me keep these yellows out. So this one is a Y11. I'm going to do both of these birds at the same time. There we go. And then I'm going up to, this is a Y15, but you could use like an 18, or I just wanted a darker yellow. To me, it's not necessarily important like which yellow I'm using. It's just that it's a graduation of color. So, you know, I'm starting, I like to start lighter. I think it gives me a little more control over my color. And then I go back to my lighter color to kind of blend those areas just a bit, bring them together, and grab an orange of some sort to do the beak and the little feet. And they're so tiny, it's just a little touchdown. Now we got these little chicks, so I'm going to get them in yellow as well. They're so cute. I just love these little birds. What?
Sheila's asking, are these animals cooking dinner or for dinner?
Sheila's asking, are these animals cooking dinner or are they for dinner? That's hilarious.
I think the little piggies for my breakfast. And the chicken.
That's a little sick, I gotta say. That's hilarious. Cindy is saying, do you color the entire image before die cutting? Yes, I do. I always do. I like to make sure that you can see I move things around like this. I do a lot because I don't always color in one direction. And if I don't have a lot there, I don't have anything to hold on to. So I always color the images all completely. So I've got E40 here, which is a really cool color. If I go like that, it's almost like it's like a warm brown. And I think it's really, really pretty to do these little bunnies so that they kind of look like they're white, but they're not.
Want to zoom at all?
Yeah, you could, well, no, I don't think you need to zoom.
I can't see.
You can't see that? Okay. And if you go a little too heavy, this is where this is one area you can get your blender out. So this is my blender. Let me make sure my blender's clean. Whoops.
Is that any better?
Yeah, it's fine. And I'm going to use my blender just to soften the edge there of that of that gray. There we go. And then get the little feet there. Aren't they cute? It just gives you a tiny little bit of color on those bunnies. There we go. You get a little bit of that color into the pink too, just for a little shadow. And then I am going to put this little bunny in a brighter little dress. This one is R22. This is what I used on the curtains, and then I'm going to take R29 also on the curtains for that belt and the little bow. And I'm literally just choosing colors like right now from all my stuff here, because I think as long as I'm grabbing colors that I used in the kitchen, then everything coordinates, right? So let's move on to these guys. I'm going to grab my E40 again, and I'm going to do a little bit of color on these bunnies. Just a tiny, tiny little bit. Not a lot. There we go. I really love this E40. It's like a warm gray. I just think it's so pretty. It's one of my favorite Copic colors, actually. And let's move a little bit here on the face, just to have that little bit of shadow. Tiny little bit on that little tail. And then we'll get this little bunny's ears here a bit. A little bit of color there on the side of the face, just for a little shadow and contour. Little feet. And then I think we're done with bunnies there with that gray. So now I'm going to get their little ears. And this is an R20, one of my favorite pinks. And I think it looks great on the inside of the little bunny ears all the time. So that's a favorite of mine. I'm going to grab that, that E40 again and just use that to shadow the little bunny ears. Those little bunny ears, just a tiny little bit. There we go. This is my blender. I just want to soften some of those edges where I put that gray for the bunny, the E40. Just soften the edges a tiny bit with the blender. It's just going to remove a little bit of that color. I'm getting everything all messed up here. There we go. Now I've got another little bird here. Tap in some color. Go up in my color to my 15. So you can see how fast these come together. They really are easy to color. And for me, it's not really about shading. It's about, because you don't have a whole lot of room to shade. It's about leaving, it's like graduation of color and leaving a little bit of space, you know, where we've got some lighter and darker things, but you can't really do a whole lot of shading because there isn't a tremendous amount of space for that. So, all right, let's see. What are these little bunnies going to wear? Let's put this one in some blue. This is B91. And then I'm going to go a little bit darker because this little guy's laying down. So I'm going to put just a little bit darker at the bottom there. So it looks like it's kind of shadowed. And I'm going to take this one over here and put, this is actually the same pink that I have for the little bunny ears. And then one color up from that, this is R20, well it's two, I guess, two colors up, R22. I'm going to dab just a tiny little bit of that R22 in there, just for a little bit of shadow, a little bit of interest, and then dot it and blend it together. See how cute that is? So sweet. Sweet. What else can we do here? We've got this little bunny here. I'm going to grab, this is my B0000. Let's put that in there for that little bunny's outfit. The lightest blue, I'm going to go up to my next blue. Oh, that one's 93. That one's too dark. This is a B91. And just put a little tiny bit of blue on the sides there. And then bring that together with my B000. But it looks super, super light on this center there. So really easy. See how cute that is? Really, really easy to color. Now next, I'm going to color up this little cow. So I'm going to use the same colors that I used on the kitchen for the wood. I'm starting with an E30. I'm going to bring this color in for this cow because we want to go brown, at least I want to go brown on the cow. I could have done like a white and black cow, but there we go. But we have, the bunnies are white, so then I'm pulling in E31 next. Let me blend those just where they come together a bit. I don't want them to be too dark. And I'm going to leave that just like that. But for those little horns, I'm going to take that E40 and put a little bit of color in there. Look how quick and easy that is. I forgot his little hand there. I think I may have forgotten some of the blue on his leg. Over here. There we go. And then what do we have next? Let's see. You know what I wish I had was a little bit of green, but I don't. So I'm going to go on to this, you know what, I'm going to need a green because I have leaves in here. Alan, will you get me like a G14 for my Copics? Yeah. So this was my R20. This is an R22. R20 is a really beautiful pink, and it gradually goes up into a red. So this is a 24 then, where it's just going to be, this is a R24, where I'm just going to be a little bit darker on the outside. I'm going to blend these in together now with my R20, and that's going to give me that little bit of highlight in the center. Very simple. So I had Alan grab me a G14. And Alan is telling me I've got some questions. So give me just a quick second and I'll get some questions answered. So Peggy is saying, do you have all the Copic colors? I do not have all the Copic colors. I have like every other Copic color because, I mean, I can take, with my R22 and my R24, if I go tip to tip, meaning if I go tip to tip like this, I can blend these two together and create the color that's in the middle. So I don't worry about getting every single color, and I certainly don't use every single color. I don't have like all the fluorescent colors and stuff like that. I even have colors that I've never even used because I've just got too many. I have favorite color combinations that I use all the time. So I would not suggest that you get every single color. You're going to end up with your favorites. Let's see. I have to look at the picture on here because I'm not sure what something is. And that's something you can always take a look at. Oops. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what this was up here. It looks like a little heart, so I wasn't really sure. That's another reason why we give you this color on the back of the image, because sometimes when you see it in black and white, you can't tell what something is. So, you know, even me, I mean, this is, you know, one of my products, right? And I sometimes get a little unsure when I'm looking at it in black and white. Beverly, what power are your reader glasses? Oh boy. You know, the problem with this is that when I take them off, I can't read. Oh, they're +1? Alan says mine are +1. And they're from, they're Brighton. I don't know if you, I get them from Brighton and I absolutely love them because they're pretty. And they have some different styles and they're not very expensive. And I think I have like 3 or 4 pair of them in different styles. I love them. How do you store your Copics? Ooh, that's a good question.
In a rack.
Yeah, but I have it in a rack on the wall. You know what? Huh? Let's do this. I'm going to get a photo of it real quick. Put that up there and get a photo. Get a photo of it right there.
I think you got
And then I can show it on my phone. Okay. Because they sell these really, really cool, Copic sells these really, really cool racks. All right, did you get it?
Yeah, but you have it on your page already.
Yeah, I don't know where it is though. All right, here. Can you see that? That's how my Copics are stored, up on the wall. It's a rack that actually stands on the ground, or not on the ground, but like on your table. And then I had my husband take it and like mount it. It's like it would lay like this, and then I had my husband take it and mount it like that up on the wall. He just screwed it into the wall. And so they're right there in my craft space, and so I can see, I have all of them up there like this, so I can see all of the numbers. I have them in there. They're really, really easy for me to find and to grab and to put away, so they stay organized all the time. Dixie is saying, do you have an artistic background? I would say yes, I do. I used to love, I mean, my favorite classes were art classes, of course, when I was in, well, I shouldn't say my favorite. My favorites were math and English, believe it or not, but I absolutely love my art classes when I was in school. And when I chose the university I was going to go to, I actually chose it. They have a really good interior design program. And what am I going to do here? I'm not going to do this. They have a really, really good interior design program, which that was going to be my major initially. And then I realized that if I wanted to make a living as an interior designer, I was probably going to have to move to Chicago or New York or California, which was just going to be way too expensive. I knew I wasn't going to be able to survive. And so I ended up changing my major. Then I decided I was going to be a math major because math always came so easily to me. I'm going too deep into this. But then my brother was an engineering major, which I considered until he had differential equations. And I said, I don't ever want to work that hard. Anyway, I ended up, because I really love numbers, and I wanted to, I had an interest in finance. So I actually have a business degree with a major in finance, and which has served me well, as it turns out. But I ended up in, I worked in finance for several years, and then I ended up in IT because I needed a change of pace. And then my husband, well, he wasn't my husband at the time, but then Alan hired me. And anyway, I got into the crafting, the card making, through a girlfriend of mine who was having a Stampin' Up! Little home show, home thing at her house, and said, please, 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 I need bodies. Can you come to this? And so I did. And, well, the rest is history. I ended up loving card making. Oops. So I'm making this little shelf, and I used the exact same browns that I used for that little little cow. Let me think, what color did I need? Here it is. And now I'm using the same reds that you saw me use for the vase. And now I'm going to use the exact same colors that I used for these little dishes. And it's E40. This is all I did with the dishes. I went around with my E40 just like this, just to create a little bit of a shadow. I'm going to do the cups in some different colors. And then I'd grab my blender. This blender is like your best friend. And I soften the edges of that with that blender. I use the blender for cleanup, and I use it to soften the edges. And I just kind of go back and forth with my E40 till I'm happy with it. There we go. So that's a pretty kind of shadowed, kind of creamy white plate. And I'm going to go ahead and get these cups going in some pretty colors. So I'm going to do a little bit of a blue on this little teacup here. Leave a little bit of white in the center there. I think I'm going to do a few different colors here. But this is what I do. I just have some music on in the background while I'm coloring. And I just enjoy it. It's very relaxing. I may have gone a little too dark on the outside there, but that's okay. Let's get, I'm going to put the pink on this one up here. And then I'm going to go up to, so that's my R20, and this is my 22. Dot that in a tiny bit. Again, leaving a little bit of white. Back in with my 20. And then I'm going to do a yellow cup, because I think that would be really pretty. At the bottom there. Oh, you know what I missed? I think I missed the bottom of that cup. There we go. And this is my 15, Y15, just like that. I'm going to go a tiny little bit with my darkest right on the outside and just dot that in so I get a little more shadow. And that's really it. This I don't even need to color, but that's all there is to coloring those. So let's put all of these guys away. I'm going to get this ready for Alan to, I'm going to line up my dies. I'm going to get it ready for Alan to cut this. So I'm just going to line these up on here. Let's go ahead and get my dies out. Here's my little barnyard bunnies. And I store them here I like to add them right back to my packaging. So let's see, which ones do I have? I think I've got, let's see, I've got this little guy here. If you're ever not sure, look on the back because we show you which ones go with which.
Look on the back.
What?
You should look on the back.
I know, you have to look on the back sometimes. They're little, you know, I mean, what are you going to do? They are little. Let's see, I've got this bird. This little bird is here. This is how I do it. I lay them out and put them all in place so I can see where everybody's going to go. Here's those two little birds right here. And then, let's see, who else do I have? This little guy goes over here. Bum, bum, bum. This guy goes here. All right, I think that's all the animals. And then I have these guys here too. So this is what I do. I lay them all out and then I will tape them all on. Oops, I'm popping them off. But notice how we have the little outline for all of them on there. We do that so it makes it really easy for you to put them away. I'm going to bend this up. I can't get this one off of here for some reason. There we go. Alrighty. So now I like to use my purple tape. Alan, we could zoom back out a little bit if you wouldn't mind. Now the great thing about these dies is that you can see right into them, so you can line them up. And if you're using a really great repositionable tape like this, this purple tape is from ThermoWeb and it's fantastic. I reuse these. I literally, next to my machine, I have several of these, just like I'll pull these off of here and I'll just stick them like this on the side of my counter where I do my die cutting because I use them over and over and over and over again. Let me get that on there. Overlap that tape on more than one. This tape is so great. It's not going to peel up your paper. It's not going to peel up your, any of your color. It really is fantastic tape. Now the one that we're going to carry in the store is half the width of this. So you see me cutting into this, cutting it in half. Let's put that over there. And I'm going to put this one over that guy again. So this is how I do it. And you want to tape them securely because the machines have a lot of pressure and they could make your die slide off of your images. And then you're not going to get a very good cut on your image. And that is very frustrating when you've taken the time to get everything colored the way you want it. And you end up cutting an arm off or a leg off or something like that because your die slid. So you don't want that to happen. That's why I tend to overlap. Like I'll lay the first one down. Like this one, I laid the first one down. And this one is next to it. So I'm going to go over the two of them like that. So it's secured from more than one piece of tape. And this may seem tedious, but I'm telling you, it is worth the trouble. This is upside down. So this one, I can get on all three of those at one time. And it may seem like I'm using a lot of tape, but I really do use these over and over and over again. Because the tape peels up so nicely off of them, it's I can reuse it multiple times. So it's not going to go to waste. I'm going to put one more piece on that because, as well as this, because I'm just going to lay this right over it, just like that. Okay, so that is ready for Alan. Alan,
Yes.
can you take this and run this through, please?
Yes. Questions backing up there.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions while he's doing that. Sarah is saying, do you write down which colors you use on each design? No, I do not. And the reason for that is because it doesn't matter to me. I don't necessarily go back to the same blues or the same greens and so on each time. I like to try different combinations. And sometimes I like different variations of the same color, so I don't write them down. Do I pay Alan now? Sarah's asking. Believe me, I pay. Okay, Judy is saying.
Intolerance.
Yes, intolerance. I pay him with patience. How's that? Judy is saying, is the next thing on HSN in October? And are there any appearances coming up on Stamp and Scrapbook Expo? Yes, yes. The next HSN will be in October. And we do have another Stamp and Scrapbook Expo coming up, but I think it's in September, and I don't know the date right now. And I can't read the next one. What machines? What does it say, Alan? What machines?
Do you use?
What machines do I use for die cutting?
Yeah. Which machines do I use?
Yeah. Well, I use the Big Shot, which has always been my go-to and my favorite. It is a hand crank, but it doesn't bother me. I love it. And I also use the Gemini. And I have, believe me, I have a lot of machines because, you know, I always want to make sure that if I say you can use our dies with, you know, with any die cutting machine and so on, I always want to be able to speak to that and, you know, and know what I'm talking about. So I don't want to just say, yeah, of course you can use our machine, our dies with those machines. I test them and I make sure you can. So I have a lot of them, and several of them I don't want to badmouth any machines or any companies. So what I will say is, of all the machines that I have, the Big Shot is my #1 hand crank, and I have the Gemini Junior. I don't have the full Big Gemini, but I have the Gemini Junior, and that is my absolute favorite electric machine. It is fantastic. So there you go. There you have it. And I have several of those. When we do like trade shows and stuff, I take both of them with me. So yeah, those are my favorites. Let me get all of these out of here. And notice I'm putting all these little guys back. I don't want to lose my dies. And I'm pulling all this tape up, and I'm literally setting it on the side of my board because I'm not going to throw away this tape. I will use it again. This is not a one-use tape. And you can see on here, it's not ruining any of the colors, any of the ink on my images. It's not tearing my paper. It comes off very easily, yet it holds the paper in place when I need it to, you know, when it goes through the die cutting machine. So if you can just bear with me for a moment. I know this part is tedious to watch. It's no fun. But I wanted to show you the process that I do when I do all these, when I cut them and color them and all that good stuff. So that goes with my other set. I'm not going to waste time separating all this tape. I'll do that off camera when we're done, but let me get this over here for now. That goes on the other one. Okay. Almost done. I've almost got all my images. That was a lot of tape. Put those over there. And then this one goes here. I'll put the other ones away later, off camera. Move those aside. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble this card now because we have all of our little images. And I don't know if all this stuff is going to fit, but we're going to see. That's all that I have planned. And the wonderful thing about having these little pocket pails is they're so tiny that I can put a lot of characters into one card. Let me straighten this out. Drives Alan nuts when the backing is not, when the mat is not straight. So here's my card. I make sure that it's opening in the direction that I want it to. And I'm going to put my pieces down flat on the card because I'm going to mount the kitchen and the other little characters up on foam. So here's my idea. This is what I wanted to do. Let's see how this is going to work. My thinking is that I want this to look kind of like a kitchen. So this is going to be my background. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. I wanted to have that wood in the back. I think it's really pretty. You know, maybe this is the inside of a log cabin or something. So let's lay this down. I actually cut these so that they are a 1/4 of an inch smaller on each side, so it ends up being half that, you know, for that border around it. So let's go ahead and put these pieces down. Oops, I don't want that much space. There we go. And then my thinking is that this is going to look like the molding at the bottom, like the baseboard molding in the kitchen. I don't know how this is going to look when I'm done, but let's just say I was well intentioned. Hopefully it'll work out. We'll see. But I wanted to kind of pretend that it was a, maybe I'll go like that and leave that. Let me see, I don't even know if I need that. Let's see. I don't think I need that other piece. Okay. But what I do need to do, I want to tape this down to here because if I put this down here, when you open up those doors, see how you see that gingham through? And I don't want to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive in some of these areas here so that I can so I can complete a sentence so that I can adhere, there we go, the backing that I cut to my kitchen here. And you want to make sure you don't get any adhesive on the backs of those doors because you want those doors to open. So I'm going to line that up and put that down. If you want to go in and color those a gray or something on the inside, that's fine. Perfectly fine. Let's get some foam on the back of this. Here's my scissors. That is way too big. Put that one on the back there. And cut another piece. The foam arrived too. Everything arrived. We just need to get it into the store. So I'm going to go like that. Oh no, I feel a sneeze coming on. Uh-oh. Let's see if we can get rid of that. Can I borrow Alan's stairs?
For a banana cream pie, yes.
Oh, you guys are hilarious. I love you. You're awesome. Cindy says, what kind of adhesive do you use? Well, we have adhesive coming to the store, I got to tell you that. I actually have this is a Scotch, it's an ATG, so it's the Advanced Tape Glider. We have some of these we're going to be putting in the store along with some refills. It's one of my favorites. And this is my foam, which is also Scotch. We've got those that are going to be coming into the store. And I'm evaluating some smaller tapes as well. This one is by Scrapbook Adhesives, and this is little easy dots, which works pretty well. But I'm testing a couple of others too. So, all right, so here we are with the kitchen. What do we have here? Let me see. Let's see where these pieces are going to go. How much time do we have? It's 8 o'clock. I'm going over again. Ay, 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 ay. All right, well, let's see. Who's going to go where? I want to get, let's see. I'm going to put this up here. Got to get my foam on the back of these little guys here. And start placing these. So this is going to go right up here. A little shelf. How pretty. Where's my little guy? I want these guys to be laying, like resting up here. I think they'll be really cute. These guys are so fun. I mean, seriously, fun. And I'm going to move this. I'm going to slide them down here so it actually looks like their legs are hanging over. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? I love it. Some of this stuff may not end up going on here, but we'll see how it goes. This little piggy here. Can't get that off the back. There we go. This is the little pig and the little bird, little duck there. Let's put them in there. I love this guy. Where's he gonna fit? I don't know if he's gonna fit. Oh, I could put him inside there. Let's put him flat in there. So when you open up this door here, he's laying in there sleeping. I just love it. All right, who's this little guy? This one, I know where I'll put her. She can be, she's going to be like on the side here, looking at those doors. Let me move this because we have to be able to move those doors. There we go. And we'll put this one on the inside there. See, this is the fun part where you just get to place, I already have one cut, perfect. You just get to place all these little guys, and they're just the sweetest little things. Oops, helps if the tape sticks. There we go, come on, there we go. You know, and maybe you don't have it so that all the doors have somebody in there, but, and that's fine. Look how cute that is. I'm going to do this. I want this little guy, this other little chick. I'm going to put this one up here. Oh, it looks like he's reaching for the cups. All right, that worked out. That worked out really, really well. Let's see. This little bird. I'm going to put the bird. How about there, like that? And then maybe I could, oh, I know what, I'll put him in there too, like they're talking, like they're discussing something. You never know. He's looking at his tail and he's saying, you know, check something out back there. I don't know. Maybe he's got an itch. Who knows?
You're so weird.
I don't know. All right, and then we have these little birdies here that I think, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll put them on here. Let's put them there for now. I've already got this one cut. That's going to be my sentiment. That's going to go up here. Look how cute. That just finishes it off so perfectly. I'm going to put these little birds up here because they're just the cutest things. And then, let's see. Stephanie's yelling at me. She's like, Ange, stop.
Yes.
But you know what? I want to get this done. I want to get it all done the way I want it. And I think this is going to be really cute right here. Maybe. Put it up here. There. Done. We're done. I like it. And I have a couple things left over, but that's okay. Oh, if that isn't the cutest, check that out. So the little doors open up. I can even put characters back in there. I'll just color up some smaller ones that'll fit in there. Look at how cute. Everybody. Oh my goodness. All right. Yay. Oops. Let's get the green screen working again. There we go. Isn't that better? Oh my goodness gracious. That was so much fun. I love how the card turned out. I absolutely love how that turned out. That is just the cutest thing. Yay! Okay, so we're a few minutes over, and Alan, it looks like Alan has already picked the winner. Let me tell you what the prize is today. It's going to be, the giveaway today is the Country Kitchen, the stamps and the dies. So you're going to get the stamps and the dies, and the winner today is Shannon Hayes. So Shannon Hayes, congratulations, you have won the Country Kitchen stamps and dies, so you can make your very own little Country Kitchen card. And you can use any of the pocket pails, by the way. That's one of the really, really cool things about our pocket pails is that they're all sized so that you can, like if you already have the barn, you can use, you know, the characters that go with that or whatever. You can mix them and match them. So Shannon, yay, congratulations. Send us a message. We need an email from you at customerservice@ldrscreative.com, and I need your complete mailing address so we can get your stamps and dies out to you. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I had so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this card. I'm sorry I went over, but I'm hoping it was worth it. I think it turned out really, really cute, and I think it's a lot of fun. I love it. So we will be back on Tuesday. I have no idea what I'm going to work with, no idea what I'm going to be playing with, so we'll just have to wait and see. I'll try and give you guys a heads up if I can. So we'll be back Tuesday night right here, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. We had a wonderful time. Thanks, everybody.